All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Ukrainian Perspective channel and also to Mordinson Marriage Company or Marriage Agency channel. We are recording another episode today, and I am pretty sure you're going to enjoy this. Just before we start talking, I was talking to Michael, and he said that, I wish it would be easy to give greatest tips and just say 5 tips to be successful with Ukrainian women or 5 tips to do this or that. But with these videos, we are going to give you tips, but we are trying to give you a psychological insight why these tips are working. And you can choose, depend on circumstance and your personality, what will work for you. As you know, Ukrainian culture and Slavic culture is still more conservative and traditional, and it could be confusing if you're a foreign man, if you're a Western man, and you're trying to create a connection with a Ukrainian woman or Russian woman or any Slavic woman. Um, you may have your challenges. So today we have a great topic, and Michael gonna have most of the floor, sharing his experiences as a man. And the topic of today is how to create sexual attraction and assert your dominance. Michael, let's start our conversation. It's so nice to have you back.
Veronika, long time no see. I'm sorry about that. Hello. Yes, Veronika, I'm sorry about that. Just got a call.
No problem.
Long time no see. I'm very happy, very excited to be back to your channel. Hi, guys. As Veronika said, unfortunately, there is no easy way or short way to really feel and make the impression of a strong man. In order to make it really simple, in order to make an impression of a strong man, you need to be a strong man. It's simple, but it's not as simple as we probably all hoped it would be. So, guys, if we're looking at the big picture, and I know it sounds very cliche, but you need to work on yourself and better yourself in order to attract better women who are worthy of your attention, and women who you can really build long-term relationship and so on. Mm-hmm. So if you want, Veronika, we can talk about big things, and then we can go down to some little tips, practical tips of
Absolutely.
what things you can do. The big tip, guys, your life is in your hands, and you have nobody to blame for things you don't do. And it's you may not like what I'm going to say, but I feel it's true. We as people, we want to stay in comfort, we want to sleep long, we want to eat, we want to do things we enjoy, but in order to really become strong, you need to learn how to limit yourself. And first of all, guys,
yes,
you have to learn how to limit the amount of food that you eat. And I'm not a doctor, but I think I've heard enough to understand that the food that we eat really influences the way we feel, our energy level, and health in general. So if you can, I would strongly recommend not to eat after 6 p.m. Before 6 p.m., when stuff you eat, think about it. Think about the things you eat. If you feel that maybe you are eating a little too much carbs, you should cut off on potatoes, on spaghetti and pasta and stuff like this. Try to break your meals into smaller portions so that you never feel that you are so full that you just want to lie down and just do nothing. It's a very simple thing to do, and I don't think it's really hard to follow this advice, and I think you will see the results very quickly. Second, being active. Guys, in Ukraine, even if you don't practice any sports,
Mhm.
you have to, almost without any exceptions, you have to walk every day to the public transport to get to work, or and people, cities in Ukraine are generally designed for walking, because in the past private cars were rather scarce and there weren't many private cars. I understand that it may be different in the Western world, and especially in the States where you have to drive around everywhere. Unfortunately, there is no way out of this. You have to work out. You have to do something. If you don't like gyms, I don't like gyms. Find something that is fun for you to do. It can be running. It can be swimming. It can be
Mhm.
playing something, playing tennis, playing squash. I'm a squash guy. I really love squash. That's my scene. Um, so find something to do. People say that running and swimming are two best things. I'm not a fan of either, but you can find your thing and just follow it.
Mhm.
Guys, and the third thing may sound a little bit controversial to you, but I find in my personal life and in my experience that it's really cool. And I have a couple of friends who follow this tip, and everybody is very happy. Like in the novels about James Bond, he was always having, when he was having shower, he would start with warm shower and end up with the cold shower.
Yeah,
Like really,
contrast.
yes.
Mhm.
So our body is not designed to be in the warmth all the time, and many doctors say that it can cause the cardiovascular problems, the heart problems. And of course, for men, this is number one reason of death. So,
Yes.
what you do when you switch from hot to cold is basically the system, it goes from larger to smaller size because it's shrinking. And by doing so, you are exercising your vessels. They go from bigger to smaller, from bigger to smaller. So it's like similar to working out for the vessels, and they become not so fragile and they become more flexible. It's very important if nobody wants to have a heart attack, but that's how heart attacks happen, unfortunately.
Yes. If I may just reflect on these tips, some guys may be thinking, why are we listening to this? It's supposed to be how to create sexual attraction. Like, what does it have to do with me taking care of myself? And I want to just tell from my women's perspective that men who work out, doing any physical vigorous activities, they have completely different vibe and energy. And it's something I really think is more subconscious, that you just naturally drawn to the man who is stronger, to men who have this vibe of strength and protection and just energy. You guys attracted to youth and playfulness and femininity, but we love men with who, we don't want you to be to be flirty, or overly, like, not girly in any way, not flirtatious too much, but that energy, that vibe, it creates a different feeling. It creates, you also show that you have energy, you're young, even if you're older. You don't have to be young to be useful. To a lot of men, focus on the wrong things to appear younger. Well, one thing to appear and gives it a young vibe, and you can be even in your 50s or 60s and still have that vibe. It happens when you take care of your body, because when you take care of it, when you let it run and sweat, and you do all these challenges, you have healthy thoughts. You are easy to, you're quick to get up and take a decision and go somewhere. But also, as women, we are very attracted to strengths. And the opposite is true as well, because Michael, mentioned about eating less. And so when you eat more than you move, I don't care what do you tell to yourself, but you appear as lazy, because if you offer different activities, you would rather sit down. You don't want to go, for a walk or go dancing or go do something. And in our minds, how would a man who tends to be lazy how can he protect us, how he can, how he can be a good partner, because especially that, very often there is somewhat of an age gap, so we want men who can compensate with his energy. Now we're living in the times where, we're looking at people who could be in tremendous shape with all that's available right now. I think more than ever, if you want to be vibrant and radiant, you can do it for a very, very long time. So women are attracted to that as well. They can overlook your actual age difference if you are in a great shape and spirit. It's like, it's next to impossible to have great upbeat spirit if your body is neglected. And unfortunately, living here in US, uh, everything, you have to really think for yourself, because even with this situation we have right now in 2020 and now 2021, nobody's encouraging on TV that, hey, make sure you go outside, make sure you take a cold and hot shower, make sure you eat well. They only say, be inside, put a mask on, and so be just, restart yourself, recharge yourself, and get your power, because we are attracted to that very much. And I just want to add, women's perspective. I could not agree more with Michael. So if you want to create sexual attraction, it's less about, hitting on a woman or tell her some things, but it's just when you appear and, you have nice shoulders and posture, and you exude strength. That is the first step to create sexual attraction, is that emotional energy, your spirit that's connected with your body.
and,
uh
and also
yeah.
and also being, for example, if we break down, I can talk about it for a long time. If you look at the cold showers, the best thing is the actually cold bath, where you actually submerge in the water. That's perfect. That's a really perfect thing. If you think about it, the reason why it's good on a physical level, your body thinks you are in a lot of trouble, and it throws so much adrenaline into your body. It's You try it for half of the day, at least for half of the day, you feel like you can rock, you have so much energy, because your body thought that maybe you were hunting and you got into cold water, or you got into some kind of trouble, and you need all the energy, all the possible resources to get out of this trouble. Because if you don't get out of this trouble, there may not be any other troubles to get out, because this could be the last one. Our body feels that you are in a very bad situation. You're not supposed to be in the cold water, and it throws all this adrenaline in your body, and you feel so much energy. You can do stuff. You want to do this. And guys, you start with 30 seconds. You add 10 seconds every day, up to 2.5 minutes. After I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, if you continue doing this, having a shower, normal shower, like a warm hot shower, will feel terrible. It will feel like you are not getting the experience, because when you add the cold shower in the very end, it gives you so much adrenaline, and it's a fantastic feeling. One more thing that I wanted to add, of course, it's a little bit difficult now because of the COVID, but you know yourself better than anybody. So you have to, of course, keep in mind your health state. You are not, if you have heart condition, don't do crazy stuff. Don't do stupid things. You know better. So what I say, I'm not a doctor, but I'm talking, the things I say, they relate only to people who have no health issues and can do this. But if you are healthy, if you did not have experience of martial arts in your life, I would strongly recommend to enroll into any type of martial art that I like Joe Rogan very much, and he is a big advocate of jiu-jitsu. It's safer than I did boxing. My father, in the past, when he was a young guy, he was in boxing. I also did some boxing, and
Yeah.
I it's I'm not I wouldn't recommend this to anybody, because you have to be careful. You have to have a good trainer. I worked out in the gym, the boxing gym of a guy who was Ukrainian. Olympic champion back in Australia, in Sydney. I think he got the bronze, so the third place in the Olympic Games. The Ukrainian guy, fantastic. So why it's important? You need to feel inside. First of all, martial arts. If you practice martial arts, you become a lot more calm. You are no longer like you learn how to your aggression, which sometimes we all feel. For example, you end up in a situation where you feel you are somebody angers you, or you feel that you want to be aggressive. If you know what's it like to be in a fight, even on a sports level, not on a street fight. I don't recommend to get into street fight. That's very dangerous. It can, end in a bad way. But if you know how to, you feel in a different way. You feel so much calmer. You feel like, okay, so you caught me while I was driving, on the road. Okay.
It gives you grace and confidence and discipline. I could not agree more. And also the posture, the appearance, that confident vibe, and you can let your frustrations out in a positive way, because I feel men were born to fight. It just, like you just said, you don't want to encourage guys to go have a street fight, but instead learn art of self-defense.
Put two 3-year-old boys next to each other, couple of seconds, maybe a couple of minutes, they are wrestling. They don't know what's wrestling. They've never seen anybody wrestling. They will be wrestling. It's in our DNA. It's a very natural martial art. Boxing, as I said, you get hit in your head. It's not the best. But
yeah, it comes of a price. I honestly, I think there is more class also in martial arts. This is just my opinion as a woman. I want to make sure that the high risk of the high injury in box, we really care about what's between your ears right here. Okay. So we want to make sure that is there. So martial arts sound really good.
But guys, if your girlfriend sees by chance kimono or boxing gloves at home, not that you are showing it off and saying, oh, look at me, I'm this and that. If she sees this, she recognizes that you are a warrior, that you can be a warrior. Yes. She'll be looking at you with different eyes.
Yes, very, very true. I feel that it is actually really easy to stand out in the modern world, and also in the time of restrictions and be careful, don't do this, be careful. Instead of being careful, you can build yourself up. And in these times, if you just if you visit, going out on dates, if you just have your energy up and you smile and you make some bold moves, you're just creative and you have ideas, you stand out already, because you're vibrant. And now everything is just like, everything has been encouraged us to snooze and to just sleep a little more. So do the opposite.
No matter if it's United States or Ukraine, guys, believe me, I don't know the statistics, but I think very, very few men, no matter what country we are looking at, actually work on themselves. So it's a great advantage that you have. It's in your hands. You are doing it for yourself. But as a result, you are helping yourself in the search for a good lady, because every woman wants to feel that her man can handle her in a good way, that her man isn't intimidated by her. And limiting yourself, putting yourself through harsh times, like working, waking up. I don't enjoy waking up at 6 a.m. to be at the workout by 8 a.m. I don't enjoy this. I'm not saying I can't say that I like it actually, but I'm making myself do it. Why? Because I know how much I'm going to love it when I'm done with the training, and I feel, that yes, I did this. I'm just a simple, regular Jewish guy I'm not an athlete. I'm a short guy. I'm 170 centimeters, so it's considered short in Ukraine. But and I have nobody to prove anything to. I only myself. I only have to prove it to myself that I did this, and it's the same for you guys. Um,
Well,
as
I
Ver-
can tell you got a lot of energy. Just the way you speak, we've never really talked about, with you about your rituals of fitness, but I just want to say, I think I can tell that you speak with experience, and I think our audience will be able to say that too, because you do have that high energy, and that is very enticing, and it's very encouraging, like you want to keep the conversation. So it sounds like you know something about it.
no, life is short. You have to try to make most of it. Guys, what I was saying, most men, look at it this way, most men are not going to watch this video. Most men in the world are not going to watch anything that has to do with their personal growth. What they're going to watch, they're going to watch TV series, they're going to watch movies. I don't remember the last time I watched a movie. Guys, this is the only comparison is processed food. It's something that so many people worked to make it attractive to millions of people, so people go to the cinema and buy the ticket. This is such a processed product. Do things that many people don't do. Wake up early, work out, walk, work on yourself, read, guys, read. If you can, and it doesn't matter, that's the beauty. If it almost doesn't matter what exactly you read. If you read 12 books in 1 year, this is just one book a month, you will be a different person. And it will also help you with women. If you want, I can give you some suggestions on books that you can read that will help you understand Ukraine and understand Russian better. And it will, some women still have this feeling, that guys come here, and just pick a girl, take her home. You have to have the knowledge about Ukraine and Ukrainian culture. It's not mail order bride. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. You have to, when you come here to Ukraine, it's our job, of course, to introduce you to girls, to women who are interested in finding a good man and starting serious relationships that will lead to marriage. That's our job. But it's like a car race. There is a car and there is a driver. We take care of the car. We do everything that has to do, with the opportunity. But if the driver is bad, if the driver is not prepared, he will not win the race. So a lot depends on you. A lot depends on you. And most guys, just the fact that you are watching this video means you are in tiny minority of people who are smart enough to understand that they are not perfect.
I agree. Yes. And we are turning to the, next part of the video. We're talking about intellectual challenge. I could not agree more about reading and challenging yourself, because it's not that you're gonna come on a date and make quotes from the books, but you feel yourself and you appear as a person that has knowledge. There are topics you can discuss, you can share, you can have great conversations. It's, for our culture it is very important. And I want to say that one of the reasons why some ladies that could be very happy with a foreign man, they kind of hold themselves back because they're really afraid that they will not have the cultural piece, the conversational piece together. And we really need it. I know there are different people, men marry abroad, there are different cultures, and I know some ladies are just more into just home and children, and that's we have in common. But we absolutely love, I think we are, a lot of us are very curious and intellectual people. So if you educate yourself, you benefit, but you will have more ways to connect.
Yeah, so it's basically what Veronika is saying is that you do it for yourself. You do it 100% for yourself. Don't think it oh, I'm going to read this book and it will help me to, pick up some girls. No, you will better yourself, and through this process, you will become a more attractive man.
Mm-hmm.
Because a man, of course, the physical side, the intellectual side, the emotional side, and it's all important. It's everything is important, and there are so many great books, guys.
Do you have a recommendation?
Of course, if you first of all, do not read love stories. I strongly recommend not to read anything that has to do with love. The reason is that as a man, I recommend to develop the qualities of toughness, of being able to limit yourself. Don't artificially make yourself, and I understand this, it's sometimes it's great to, to feel emotional, but you have to feel emotional when you're sharing this moment with the person you care about, when you have some great moment with your woman, or you have a child who is born. Don't do this artificially. Don't dive into somebody else's story to the point where it will make you cry, because I know that men cry when they watch some movie, and I understand why. It's very touching. It's designed to make you feel this way.
Yes. Make your own story so others cry.
Yes. So read stuff. I would recommend. I myself, I really love history, and if from top of my head, if you are interested in reading something that is unique to Ukraine or Russia, and if you are not too impressionable that you can handle it, I would recommend to read Gulag Archipelago Gulag. It's
Wow. Yes.
it's a book that it made the history of 20th century turn around pretty much. So it opened eyes to so many people, and I just finished reading Animal Farm by George Orwell. Uh, Fantastic book. Скотский двор, Скотный двор.
Oh, yes. Okay. You see, I can recognize it in this. You know what? You can send me, you can share some more, and then I can write it in the description. But yes. Okay. I got it. Mm-hmm.
So it's also, I don't know, Animal Farm is an amazing book by George Orwell, who is, of course, famous for his 1984. It basically, he describes the events of the Communist Revolution 1917 and everything that happened after, by an example of a farm on which animals managed to chase away the owner and his wife, and now they are in charge of the farm and they are running everything. And it all starts with animals being equal and everybody is being brothers and everything. And then
wow.
it all escalates to what happened in Soviet Union. Of course, it doesn't mention Soviet Union. It's very funny and very profoundly sad book, especially if you read it after Gulag Archipelago.
Yes, yes, I read the first book. I'm not sure. I heard about the second one. I should probably read that, put it on my list. But I read the first book, and it's if you read these difficult books like that, you will understand the history, and you probably will understand why our people have the strong core, and why we have no tolerance to weakness, and especially we just can't tolerate weak men or men who appear weak. You may not be weak, but you may appear weak. And we don't cultivate this culture of, we are so equal, and men have their emotions, because we all know that, but we want to see that strength. And when you read a book like that, it just rocks your world. When I was in my late teens, I read a lot of books similar to that one, and I remember just feeling that my world is going upside down, because it's so hard to imagine that that somebody lived through things like that. And I think it will open up your horizons, and it will give you a little bit understanding of the history, because I think one of the very disappointing things about American culture in some ways, that history is sort of a blank for, I mean, people know American history, but they don't know so well, European history, and they don't understand, what's Ukraine, what's Russia. It's kind of, you want to educate yourself a little bit so you don't come out as ignorant,
And Gulag Archipelago is not actually a difficult book to read. I mean, it's the things he talks about. It's Alexander Solzhenitsyn, he went to Gulag. The things he talks about are very difficult. They are very hard to swallow. But the way it's written, it's actually very easy to read it. It's because he talks about it as a story. He is talking about himself. So it's not like a dry style. And I wanted to play you a little video. I will translate it in just a few seconds. This is a piece from Gulag Archipelago. If you really understand his words and really take it to your heart, it will change your life.
Все загадки ее. Хотите, я высыплю вам сейчас? Не гонитесь за призрачным, за имуществом, за званием. Это наживается нервами десятилетий, а конфискуется в одну ночь. Живите с ровным превосходством над жизнью, не пугайтесь беды и не томитесь по счастью. Все равно ведь и горького не до веку, и сладкого не до полна. Довольно с вас, если вы не замерзаете, и если жажда и голод не рвут вам когтями внутренности. Если у вас не перешиблен хребет, ходят обе ноги, сгибаются обе руки, видят оба глаза и слышат оба уха, кому вам еще завидовать? Зачем? Зависть к другим больше всего съедает нас. Протрите глаза, омойте сердца. И выше всего оцените тех, кто любит вас и кто к вам расположен. Не обижайте их, не броните. Ни с кем из них не расставайтесь в ссоре. Ведь вы же не знаете, может быть, это ваш последний поступок перед арестом. И таким вы останетесь в их памяти.
Powerful.
Guys, so basically, I will try to translate. Of course, you need the exact translation, and you will find this piece in the book. I will explain the context. He was escorted from one jail to another, and for this, he had to go to Moscow. He was escorted to Moscow by two guards, and at some point, they didn't have a car to take him to the jail, and they just took the tram, public transport. Imagine a guy who just spent 3 or 4 years in Gulag, like a hell on the earth, ending up in Moscow, where everything is like business as usual. And he's taking this tram and he's listening to things people talk about. Mm-hmm. And in this excerpt, this piece, he says, you have nobody to be jealous of. If you have 2 legs, if you have 2 hands, if you are not starving to death, you have nobody to be jealous of. Be kind to people you love and people who are nice to you. Never make sure that you never leave a person without making peace with this person. So, angry because you don't know if maybe it was the last time you saw this person and you will be arrested. Of course, he's talking about his thoughts at that time, Maybe our life is different. Luckily, we are not, I don't think any of us are in danger of being arrested. But
we also don't know. We may not see, something may happen to you, may not, so don't leave the drama, always make peace before you go somewhere, because you don't know what's going to happen. It's just life. People don't tell you, warn you, hey, I'm gonna die tomorrow, so please apologize.
So guys, this book is not about jail. It's not about jail. This book is about life, and like any good book, it makes you look maybe a little new, something new, like perspective, makes you better. And surprisingly enough, it makes it easier to deal with women, because in 21st century, your brain is the sexiest part of your body, 100%.
Yes, I can attest to that. Absolutely. And you know, reading these books, it's such a great suggestion. And reading books like that will just open your world, open your mind. You will realize you have nothing to worry about or to complain about. You only, you know, you will realize how much you have and how much more you can do, and you may feel motivated to just, you know, squeeze that, you know, energy, you know, that lemon, you know, that energy that you have, and just you know, thrive rather than comparing yourself to everybody. And it's can so much can be lost, and you can be more authentic. I really feel when you read a book like this, it just shakes you and you becoming more authentic, because we all, you know, all of us, we, you know, we becoming sometimes somewhat shallow, somewhat, you know, driven by kind of getting upset about things that don't really matter. And I really feel that, you know, when you have tears when you read something like this, you have this, your authenticity is knocking and trying to come out, you know, so you come out of your shell. So that's
As a bonus, if you read this book and then you end up, you know, talking to somebody who thinks socialism or communism, God forbid, is a good idea, if you read this book, you will have
yes,
so many things to tell this person. It's
yes,
crazy, because no, it has been shown and proven, when somebody decides who gets what, not a good idea. Everybody has to work hard to get his part, and nobody has to decide, you know. So
yes,
really, but there are lots of great books, guys. And I said it, it almost doesn't matter what you read. Just reading it. First of all, guys, sports, reading, doing some stuff. When she asks you, what's your day like? And you tell her all of those things, she can feel, she can see immediately that you are a busy guy, that you are not the type of guy who will be just following her every step and say, oh my God, darling, this and that. What you want, what I have all the time. No, you have to be a busy guy. You have to
yes, 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 yes.
everything.
Yes, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna, like, I just want, if I could put exclamation points, this is one of the major thing, because especially when maybe you are in a long distance, or you know, you're dating, you, and you know, you feel that you have some time as a woman, you finally have some time for yourself, and you think, oh my gosh, I'm gonna just, you know, read this book, I'm gonna take a bath, and you have this man that consistently just, you know, asking you, what are you doing, blah blah blah, let's talk, you know, and you feel that this man is not on the mission, this man is not on the journey of self-improvement and self, and it's not that you say, oh, this man is not in the mission, but this is something that is on our subconscious, and you just think to yourself, how come you're busier than this man, how come you have more interest and things to do, and this man, his entire existence dedicated to you. And you know, and even though some women say, oh, I wish we would spend more time, but don't listen to that, it's not true. Because it's
It's the same as women often say, I want you to tell me about your feelings. Guys, it's a trap. You have to be very careful when talking about your feelings. You have to be very careful, because if you start, God forbid, if you start complaining about something that is happening in your life, you know, she has girlfriends to talk about those things.
yes,
Of course, you have to be open with your girlfriend, with your wife especially, but never for one moment think that you can be just becomes this emotional, and she will say, oh, tell me how you feel and all those things. You have to be very careful, very careful.
I agree, because she will see, you know, she may be empathizing to you, but you will go from authority and somebody she's look up to kind of a weaker person, to a victim. I think You know, of course, if you had some tragic events, you know, we're not talking about exceptions, we're talking about regular everyday life. If you need some encouragement, talk to your peers, talk to your guys, you know, have some men friends, not just that, you know, you're friends with them because they live close or because you went to high school together, but have some friends that encourage you, that doing great things, because you need to have your men peers. A lot of times what we do, and we all make this mistake, when we have a significant other, he or she start to replace our entire social circle, and so they are our everything. You know, they're becoming our therapist, our mentor, our motivational speaker, you know, our lover, our husband, our friend, our girlfriend. So this is way too much. And when women try to uplift you and try to kind of solve your problems or encourage you, she really it's really, she's changing to the mother role or older sister role. And this is not to, you do not create sexual attraction and polarity when she's looking out for you. So yeah.
100%. You ideally, a woman, when she looks at a man as a problem solver,
Mm-hmm.
this is the best thing. You know, this is the
Yes.
best thing. She can feel that she doesn't need to worry about the world outside hurting her, because her man, he knows how to take care of things. This is ideal. I'm talking about the Ukrainian women. Veronika lives in the US, and most of you guys probably live in the US as well, or some other Western countries. It can be different. But in
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine, you can see this very clearly. Even young girls,
Mm-hmm.
it's the same. Uh, if you can make her feel that yes, you are the type of man she can rely on, everything is going to be smooth, and she will do everything to keep you. Because if it's other way around and you are chasing her, running around trying to keep her in your life, in the back of her head she will think there must be something wrong with this guy. He's making such a tremendous effort for me, because if he's such a great catch,
Mm-hmm.
what's wrong? Why is he trying to chase me so much? So you have to be, it's not
Mm-hmm.
playing cool. I don't like this playing cool game. It's not that. But as I said before, if you have a busy life with interesting things,
Yes.
exciting things, enriching things, she will want to be a part of this life.
Yes. Yes, I agree. And I feel that I want to it's important to expand. You don't want to lead with just chasing her, you know, with you don't want to lead with the wrong things. Yes, women, they want to be pursued and they want to make sure that, you know, you put effort. But when you dedicate your whole existence about her, and you, if you have a free day, and let's say she wants to have a free day too, you'll be offended if she doesn't spend it with you, because you have literally nothing going on, you have no interest, you're not passionate about anything, you know. And she's in this position where she doesn't want to, she really wants to, maybe she has something planned, some event, or she just wants to spend a day relaxing, doing her self development or her, you know, goddess rituals. And here she feels like, I know how that feels. It's, you feel like you don't want to offend this guy, but you feel pressured and you feel that it's too much. And yes, if you don't want to appear desperate, and you not appear, but you don't want to also be desperate, you need to realize that yes, if this person is, if you do have a lot in common and you have great connection and chemistry and you do what you need to do, things will happen. But you know, you may not be getting a response. A lot of men missing that there is no response back from her and they keep pursuing harder, but it could be just the wrong girl.
Or it can be the right girl and you have the wrong approach. It's
Yes. Yes.
you know women are amazing, and it's super important to never lose this excitement about girls and love to the women. It's super important. But when you take it to extreme and you start thinking that she's perfect, this is where the problem may come, because nobody is perfect. And she knows that she is not perfect. But if she feels that you think she is perfect, it can create certain problems in the long term. Because you, from early on, you have to establish the tools, the procedures to voice your displeasure in your relationship, because there will be things that you don't like. It's normal. Especially when you will live together, you will not like something. And
Yes.
if you stop yourself from saying, don't do this, I don't like you to, for example, answer the phone when we are on a date. You don't like it, but you keep silent because you think that she's perfect, she's a but you continue not liking it, and it's gathering and gathering and gathering, accumulating inside. And then something is going to happen and you will explode, and it will be completely out of place. You know, it's not going to be something huge that she does, but because of all this resentment that you have accumulated before, you will explode, and it will make you look even worse, because it will make you look like a drama queen, that you are making a scene, you know. That's why when you don't like something, you tell her immediately.
Yes, it's a great tip, Michael.
Like you answering the phone when we are on a date.
Yes, you are. It's an excellent tip. It's an excellent tip because men, especially if they are really enchanted by, by this particular woman, they're trying to not say anything that bothers them or they dislike, and then they are lying because they appearing to be another person. And in American culture, I see that more. I feel our culture is more direct because, when I came here, I was told so many times, "You are so direct. I love it." I have no idea. I honestly did not know what it mean. Now I do know that. And men are very often, they afraid to rock the boat, and they keep calm, keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet. But then also what happens, you either blow up or you create so much resentment that you can't stand this person anymore, and they never knew what was wrong. You talk about your relationship issues or things that you don't like. That's what I was working with one of my clients on. So he talks to his mom maybe, or to his friends, or to his female friend, what's going on, instead of get the courage and say, like, sit with his woman and say, listen, I love you, but like I genuinely care about our relationship, but there's some things that just when you do them, I suffer. And just tell her, because I've never understood why people do that. They will tell everybody in their, I mean, it depends how classy they are. Hopefully they only tell one or two people, but sometimes everybody knows this except for the person that needs to hear it and hopefully change that.
Guys, in Torah, in Bible, it says when a man and a woman become husband and wife, there is nobody closer to them than them to themselves. So it may be a hard thing to swallow, but your mother and your father are not as close to you as your wife from the moment when you get married. And if you think about it logically, it makes no sense. How can it be possible? They know you your life. They know everything about you. The reason why it says so in Bible is it's not the to mean that at the moment when you get married, you are now the closest people. Of course, it's not true. You especially in ancient times, maybe you just met this person, or maybe you've seen her a couple of times, and now you are husband and wife. What it means actually is that you strive from now on. You strive to be the closest people. And if you just think about it, 200 years ago, or even 60 years ago, would it be normal for a man to go to his mom and complain about his wife? It's such a silly thing to do. I'm thinking about my father, my grandfather. I cannot imagine them complaining to their moms, like, oh, my. The best thing, guys, I'm sorry if I'm offending somebody, the best thing is to voice your displeasure at the very moment, at the very, very, very moment when it's happening. Because this shows a woman that you take no shit from nobody. You are not taken from from the outsiders, but you're not going to, of course you say this in a love, in a nice way, in a very nice way. You say, honey, look, I'm here, I'm on a date with you. You know that I'm a busy guy. You know that I'm a busy guy. It's not like I have all the time in the world. And when you take a phone call, I feel that you are a little bit disrespecting me. So if you are so busy, let's just wrap it up and I will go on my business because I have things to do.
Mm-hmm.
In a very nice way, of course. You have to be super polite. It's because aggression is the first and most important sign of weakness. People who are aggressive are the weakest people. That's why in Russian we say the dog that barks never bites. That's the saying that we you, of course, without any aggression. Generally, if you can practice this approach, if you can do it, try to treat women as if they are children. You will never be angry with a 5-year-old if she says something silly or throws something at you, and she's angry with you, and you say, okay, you are angry with me, bite me. Answer if you can do this, guys. It's a skill, you have to develop it. If you can do it, women go crazy because they feel that you, in a good way, you don't take them seriously, because women do not want to be taken too seriously. This is not exactly what they want.
Mm-hmm. At least not at the time when we're going out on dates. We all eventually will have common problems and things and challenges, but when we go on dates, we don't want to discuss people you met in your life 25 years ago. We don't want to discuss your ex-neighbors. We don't want to discuss the problems. Even if we enjoy the politics, we don't want to talk. We just wanna be in the moment with you and create that connection. We don't even always have to talk. We can just, do the eye contact and have tea and just feel that, we want to feel light, and we want to feel like a little girl. When we're going on a date, we do want to feel like a little girl. Sometimes at least big parts of it. So we can just, be in that moment with you without other influences, and kind of like it's an escape, and you are lucky to escape together. It's a best way to, one of the best ways to know somebody, because you feel like you are out somewhere, beyond this world. You're together.
And in her mind, she will associate this state of her soul and her heart with you. So she will feel that when you are around, she feels this way. And guys, it's really, Hollywood movies made us believe that we should all look like Ryan Reynolds and Brad Pitt. It's really not true. If you're looking at a guy, yes, for men, the looks of a woman, I would say it's 60%. For a woman, the looks of a man is maybe 30%. Your inner strengths, your personality, and the way, because there are situations when a girl doesn't like a guy on look, by the looks, but when they start talking, when he can, creates this world in her mind, because every woman she create, when she meets a man, he creates some image in her mind. Mm-hmm. It completely changes her perspective. So if you have a big nose, or if you are bald like me, or something else, don't think that you have to. If you work on yourself, mm-hmm. This is the biggest, thing that you can do for yourself.
Yes, very true. Very true. We don't apply standards that we apply for ourselves to you. We want to, your appearance. I mean, of course, we have to have that initial attraction, because otherwise it just would be hard to make it work. But for that lady, you don't know what her taste is. You don't know. Maybe her taste is the man who is just, who have nice, posture, and he is looking presentable, and he knows how to talk. Everybody is somewhat different, but we don't care about, don't spend a whole lot of money on doing the hair treatments or something. This is not why we are with you. Every woman has this dream especially Slavic woman, to have the man that's her own magician, that, you know, makes things happen for her, that treats her well, that surprise her, you know, with things, can surprise her with romantic, beautiful things, you know, like, you know, flowers and, you know, different gifts, but also that can take daily routines and be a great supporter, a shoulder to rely on, that she just can let everything go. So if you as a guy, that you are a reliable guy, you are there, and she can just, you are already 90% attractive.
And Ukrainian women, there are lots of amazing, really high-ranking women in Ukraine who are not just the princesses who want to lie on the couch, on the sofa, and you running around. They make a home out of the house. This is a rare skill in the modern world, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an amazing skill. And this is, you know, girls cook, girls create coziness at home. And it's really, it makes you feel different about the, you know, the other things that happen in your life. Because if you have to compete and if you have to fight at home and in the outside world, guys, it's, you know, it can lead to anything. It can lead to depression easily.
It makes no sense. Yes. Yeah. It makes no sense, because you come home for peace. Well, I don't even know how I'm gonna call this video. We have to, I don't know how we're gonna title this video. We probably will do a different video to just give you some little practical tips on how to connect, you know, with a woman and show her your confidence, not with your words, but with your moves, with different, you know, with body language, and with how you navigate during the first communication and meeting. So we probably will make that a shorter, more precise video, but our goal is just to kind of give you that insight into the other world. It's not just, you know, that very surface thing. So I'm not sure how we're gonna call this video. I'll try to do my best to describe it. In the title, I don't know. What do you think, Michael?
Veronika, I missed you so much. We haven't talked for a few months.
I know.
And that's why I spoke too much, and we have talked about so many different things. You can make 5 videos out of this video.
I know.
You know,
yes.
You can call it Veronika and Michael's rant. Which is,
yeah, Veronika and Michael's rant, or maybe self-work, the importance of you know, self-work and alignment, like your own alignment with you, and you just need to find the right words. But probably would be the how you call this, of course, now self-work and self-development. I'm just, by the way, talking about self-development, guys, you can't go wrong with Jordan Peterson. I think Jordan Peterson should be prescribed to every person. I don't know if Michael knows him, but he's you can check him out. He's incredible. He has so much common sense, and he's just such a great mentor. I mean, such a great you know, man's mentor. But I listen to him too. I love common sense in this world of craziness. So in
guys,
the world,
yes. You haven't read 12 Rules for Life by Dr. Peterson, you definitely have to read this book. And now I'm reading the Maps of Meaning, his first book. It's a little bit more in a different direction. It's about religion. It's very interesting book. So I 100% I support. This is the guy, Dr. Peterson. His main message: work on yourself.
yes,
you have to be hard on yourself, and miracles happen.
it's true. I think work is a joy.
Everybody is looking for the meaning of life. Everybody is looking for the meaning of life. Dr. Peterson tells you what the meaning in his point of view. Taking responsibility. It's so easy. Take responsibility. you take responsibility for your own body. It's natural. Your home, your house, your wife, your children, and it fills your life with a meaning.
Yes, yes.
You haven't read the book 12 Rules for Life, 100%.
Yes, maybe I even will have a giveaway on my channel at some point, and maybe that would be the prize to some of my most dedicated people on the channel, because actually have it upstairs. That's what we are reading right now. I'm actually reading right now 12 books for life, 12 rules for life. I'm amazed you just mentioned that. It's kind of interesting.
And his life is a testament to his words.
Yes.
Some of you may say, it's easy to say, be tough, just being some professor, big salary, beautiful life, everything. Read about his biography, things he had to go through personally recently with his health, his daughter, his wife. Read just about the challenges, and despite all those things, he remains so optimistic, so full of life. We have no reason to feel down or to feel upset about the cards we were dealt. Yes, we have beautiful, wonderful cards. And
yes, I agree. I think it's just he has such a great message. It's great for young people because they starting out life, but it's also, I believe, we evolve. We have this 5-7 years cycles, and you can reinvent yourself every cycle. You should always consider yourself a young and evolving person, because every cycle, and I can attest to that myself, I feel like every cycle you have a rebirth of you, and you have a chance to reinvent yourself. If all your entire life you were told and called, that you was this and you were that, if you realize that some of that is true, or some of that is not true, you don't have to try to be that. You can really, you have the power to reinvent and just change everything. So I hope we inspired you to that inner work should not be boring. I guess this video is something just to encourage you to not be so obsessed about what you're gonna get or grab. But when you focus on you naturally have options, because people won't spend time with you. They have interest, and you can get I believe personally, I want to listen to what Michael would say on this. I personally believe that the best way to get a better mate, to maybe have your second marriage better than the first, or third better than the two previous ones, or to upgrade your relationship, to have a better woman, you first have to change yourself, to upgrade yourself, and then you will naturally get a mate you always wanted, a woman you always wanted, but you can't get it with your current self. So I'm really curious if Michael would agree with that.
Guys, I agree 100%. It always starts this way, and in such moments I always remember the words my professor said when I was studying at the university. He was actually he worked in the Ukrainian National Bank. Professor Yeremenko, very smart guy. He said that the line between the point A to point B is the shortest only in the geometry. In real life, it's never the shortest way, the line from A to B. If you are in A and the B is finding a good woman, you have to go through the C. You have to go through the C, and C is becoming a better man. The man she will be excited to be with. She will be bragging to her girlfriends that my man told me. You know what girls brag to each other about? They say, my man told me I have to be at home by 8. He tells me that I have to do I'm talking about Ukrainian, Slavic women. Ukrainian women show off the strength of their man. They're not saying, oh, I can do anything with my man. It means your man is not worth, there is no worth. So you have to go through this point C, and point C is becoming the man a girl is going to be excited about. And it's not easy to become this man, but it's all in your hands.
And you can't go wrong.
Yes, sports, activity, not eating too much, eating healthy. It's really not that difficult. Cold water, cold temperature, being tough, knowing how to say no to yourself. Buy something that you know is bad for you and make sure you put it on the table and never touch it.
Oh my God, it happens a lot because, you know, if you're trying to, you know, stick to certain regime and you go places, everybody else is having it. So it's a good practice to build a resistance. That's a great tip. Yes, it is a great tip, Michael. And you know, I was just trying to say you cannot go wrong because it's not like as you know, we talked earlier, it's not like you're trying to do the things in hope, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna not eat the cake, maybe I can get this girl because, you know, I don't have the big stomach. No, you do it for you. You know, you don't, a lot of people think that, well, you know, they doing it, but they also like, okay, am I getting anything yet? You know, like other girls are like, and you know, a lot of men are getting carried away by the paid websites where you can literally look like you just, you know, like, you know, you can have green ear and the middle eye over, you know, how you call this eye? I forgot. Not middle eye, but yeah, kind of. And girls will still be typing you, oh my God, I don't care, you are such a wonderful man. Don't take those compliments. It's not true. You know, be real and see what you can do. You cannot lose in this because first you're doing it for you. You're doing it for you, and everything else you're gonna upgrade. A lot of men are, you know, they didn't have such a, you know, stunning women or such a, you know, vibrant, inspiring women as wives, but they are dreaming about a better woman, and they think it's about the woman, but they don't think that this guy need to become a match to that vibrant woman first.
Yeah, 100%. Veronika, I agree 100%. It's guys, it's we wish we just could give you some easy things to do, and 1, 2, 3, and you have a Ukrainian wife, a Russian wife.
Yes.
But it takes work. But
yes,
when it work, it becomes much easier.
Yes, well, we can talk forever. I always have such a fun time talking to Michael. He is so deep. Every time we talk, you open something, you open an angle or an insight from something, and it's just either inspiring or something new or reassuring. So thank you so much for joining our conversation.
Thank you for having me, Veronika. It's always a pleasure.
Yes. So, well, thank you for sharing your knowledge and experience. I will post Michael's channel under the video and his website. If you would like to connect with him personally, you can also comment under the video. And this...
Guys, put in comments what exactly are you doing right now or want to do to develop yourself. What do you want to do?
Yes.
How do you want to develop yourself?
Yes, please. Those of you who will be active, you know, we may create some kind of reward, but we would love to hear, how do you keep yourself from not getting discouraged that maybe you cannot travel right now, or your, you know, your process is getting delayed. So how do you keep yourself, or what you are doing or going to be doing to keep yourself in shape and not to completely, you know, get уныние, how to say, not to despair.
Despair, да?
Yes. Наверное, да.
Yes.
To not well, it's pretty close. I think it's pretty close. To not just get into this despair and completely deflate. So don't deflate. Write your tips, write your ideas, and if you like this kind of videos, let us know. Or do you just like 5-minute video with 5 tips how to get the Ukrainian woman? Let us know so we know what to record for you guys. So thank you for being with us, Michael, and
thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching.
Yes, thank you everybody for watching. We are looking forward to hear from you, and we'll see you very soon. Have a wonderful day.